you, Larissa, for that beautiful music. And welcome to Unity Fort Worth. I'm so happy to see your faces. Let's go ahead and rise up and sing some music together. Take a moment and say hello to one another. Howdy, howdy. Nice to see your smiling faces. Say hi to the folks watching from home. Those who aren't amphibious and didn't make it today. The rest of us. Go ahead and be seated. We're going to sing one more song together, This Little Light of Mine.
To thank the music team for service. And welcome to Unity. And I am your platform chair today. So happy the time change didn't throw you off too much, and you're able to be with us in person and online today. We are thrilled to have Reverend Dr. Paul Hasselbeck joining us virtually today to share his message about the joy of limitation. As Reverend Eliza says, wait, what? Together. Wait, what? Very good. We'll unravel that mystery with Paul in a little bit. For now, let's move into gratitude for our wonderful community. November is all about gratitude here at Unity Fort Worth. So we brought out our gratitude jar, as you can see, and we hope you'll help us fill it up to the tippy top throughout the month with everything you are thankful for. We already have a great start for those who know the drill. Visit our table by the sanctuary entrance before or after service to add your thank yous. We'll also post a link in the chat for our online friends to add theirs, which we'll then write down on paper and add to the jar for you. And our thank you today goes to you. We are so grateful for your participating in this fun tradition and expression of our collective abundance of blessings. So thank you. I'd also like to thank anyone who's new here for coming and welcome you. Welcome. And now it's time for the word of the day, read by Teresa Kaufman.
Today's word is seasons. The affirmation, I honor the seasons of life. Let's say this together. I honor the seasons of life. When winter follows the autumn harvest and the sun's light grows weaker, what may resemble barren land is actually a time of rest, a preparation for a new cycle of seasons. The sun's light and warmth change in ways that perfectly suit each season. My life, like planet Earth, moves through seasons, the awakening of wonder in childhood, exciting and sometimes stormy growth during adolescence and early adulthood, the achievements of the middle years, and the fulfillment of maturity that maturity can bring. My divinity, the divine light within me, is my unfailing source of strength, understanding, and comfort in every season of life. Today's scripture verse is from Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. The affirmation again, I honor the seasons of life. Together, I honor the seasons of life.
Yesterday a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like when you're older must appease them, and promises of someday make history. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town. And they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet to slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. So the years spin by and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
Now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our guest speaker for today, Reverend Dr. Paul Hasselbeck. Paul is a rock star in the Unity movement, widely regarded as one of the leading authorities on metaphysics. For 10 years, he was Dean of Instruction for the Spiritual Education and Enrichment Program. Paul brings his joyful and passionate presence to his classes and presentations both nationally and internationally. He's the author of 8 books, including Heart-Centered Metaphysics, A Deeper Look at Unity Teachings, which is the main text for the teaching of metaphysics by Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute. Paul challenges students with a lively and engaging style and infectious enthusiasm. Paul makes an often difficult subject impossibly fun. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Dr. Paul Hasselbeck.
Wow, greetings everyone. I'm so happy to be with you on this early Sunday of November. I hope you've been enjoying fall as much as I have. So I'm going to share my slides. Here we go. Give me a moment. And share. It should be there. Yeah. So let me slideshow from the beginning. So, Unity of Fort Worth, thank you for inviting me. I feel honored and privileged. So, out, sound off. Some quotes that I share with you you'd like to keep. So sit back and relax like my little minion friend. And here's some information you might want to take a picture of. My website is paulhasselbeck.com. My podcast is metaphysicalromp2.com. And my email is alberthasselbeck. I welcome email. The joy of that does sound like a strange title for a Unity talk, doesn't it? Because for years we sang, I am free, I am unlimited, there are no chains that bind me. Well, on one hand, that is true. And on the other hand, it's not true. So let me share with you why. So first, let us affirm, I am wondrously infinite in finite ways. Now I'd like you to say that to yourself. I am wondrously infinite in finite ways. And take that in to you the best of your ability. We know that there is only one power and one presence in the universe, in us, and in our lives. The truth is, each of us is fully divine and fully human. In our divinity, we are identical. In our humanity, we are fantastically distinct. And we celebrate that in unity and in our lives. So take a moment, invest a moment now for a short time in the silence. And so we are gathered together today to celebrate the divine, as well as our humanity. And for this, we are grateful. Amen. So, we are infinite and unlimited. We are finite and limited. And wow, I have this pictured so we can understand it. These really are superimposed over each other and entwined. And you will see why shortly. So like I said, we are fully divine and fully human. And for clarity, let's begin here. God is not a being or entity. God does not change. And God is not opposed. And by this we mean in unity, there is no devil. There is no entity in opposition to the divine. And one of the definitions we find in the revealing word is mind. And this is the capital M, mind. And by the term mind, we mean God, the universal principle which includes all principles. And I love this quote because within it, even though it's short, there are 3 synonyms for God: God, mind, and principle. And there's others like spirit, for example. So God is principle is the fundamental concept that I key off of in my spiritual identity. And principle is made up of faculties and laws. So let me be more specific. The faculties, for example, are the 12 powers. Each of those are faculties for us to use. And you probably have heard some of the laws. In unity, there is the law of cause and effect, and there's the law of mind action, where my version of it is thoughts held in mind with feeling produce similar and more thoughts with feeling at the same time. So here's a tip: principle, power, divine idea, mind, spirit. These are all synonyms. And when Charles used some of these, he was very specific about them. But let's make no mistake, they are synonyms. So Eric Butterworth said, God is spirit, present in its entirety at every point in space at the same time. Well, since we've already decided we're using the word principle, we can say God is principle, present in its entirety at every point in space at the same time. Now, this can kind of wreck our minds because we live in a three-dimensional world where stuff takes up space. Well, when we're talking about God, when we're talking about principle, when we're talking about spirit, it doesn't take up any space. It is present in its entirety at every point in space at the same time. And yes, that means at the point of every one of the trillions of cells in your body. Isn't that a fantastic concept? That in each of our cells, there is the entirety of God, entirety of principle. And this is important because in an unpublished workers' talk, Charles Fillmore said this: if you can conceive that all that mind is right at hand for your use, all ideas or principles can be grasped and used by you. Now, isn't that a fantastic quote? And notice it comes from 1924, from the unpublished workers' talk. And think about that. In those early days, Charles Fillmore was gathering together the workforce for an hour lesson, which also included prayer, probably led by Myrtle Fillmore. But think about this. If you can conceive that all that mind is right at hand for your use, all ideas or principles can be grasped and used by you. Now, let's make this quote stronger. The way we do that is instead of using the third person you, let's use the first person. And read along with me. If I can conceive that all that mind is right at hand for my use, all ideas or principles can be grasped and used by me. Now, as you read that, I hope you found that as empowering as I do. And you can do this with any quote you find in the Fillmore's books. If it uses the word you, change it to I. And so you already have all the power there is. Now, E.V. Ingraham said that in the Unity magazine, May 1920. And you may not know this, but it was the 12 issues of Unity magazine that were published in 1920 that were about the 12 powers. And they were the starting point for the book we know as The 12 Powers of Man. So let's work our magic. I already have all the power there is. Say that with me. I already have all the power there is. Now, isn't that a fantastic affirmation of a truth that is true whether we believe it or not? So this quote goes on to say, you have had the power to demonstrate disease in the face of omnipresent health, poverty in the presence of inexhaustible substance. Now let's do that again, replacing the word you with I. I have had the power to demonstrate disease in the face of omnipresent health, poverty in the presence of inexhaustible substance. So even though the principles of health and life and wholeness are always everywhere present in their totality at every point in space, even though that principle of health, principle of life, principle of wholeness permeates your body, we can still choose to demonstrate disease. And then he goes on to say, this has all been brought about by the formulated thoughts or decrees of the thinking self. So a sentence like this, I change to, this has all been brought about by by my formulated thoughts or decrees of my thinking self. And today we could even say decrees of my thinking, feeling self, because it's so important to recognize that feeling nature. And then Charles Fillmore, in the correspondence school, said, if we send power out by our thought and word in hate, it destroys. But if we send it out in love, it builds. And haven't you noticed that? So again, in the first person, if we send power out by our thought, and let's put it in the first person. If I send power out by my thought and word in hate, it destroys. But if we send it out in love, it builds. And then this quote from Charles Fillmore, divine ideas or principles are potential forces waiting to be set in motion through proper formative vehicles. The thinking faculties and feeling faculties in us are such vehicles. Now you may be sitting there thinking, well, Paul, why are you talking about all of this? When are you going to get to talk about limitation? Well, friends, it is our limitation of divine ideas which brings about a very specific world we live in. If you think about the entire universe, including us, operates specifically. It doesn't operate generally. Every last thing in the universe is specific, and every last action is specific. And how do we do that? Well, this quote begins to explain it. Divine ideas or principles are potential forces waiting to be set in mind through proper formative vehicles. The thinking and feeling faculties in me are such vehicles. So once again, we have the infinite, unlimited divine ideas and the finite, limited. And then how does this happen? Through thought, feeling, and word. So what's happening with this? Well, through our thought, feeling, and word, we are limiting the divine ideas, the infinite potential of divine ideas, to something very specific. So that's how we take the infinite, unlimited divinity of ourselves, which is made up of divine ideas or principles, and we limit them with our thoughts and feelings and power of our word to something finite and limited and specific. And the law we use to do that is the law of expression. We must learn the law of expression from the abstract to the concrete, from the formless to the formed. So that's looking at it in a general kind of way. we take the abstract and formless ideas and limit them to something very concrete and formed in our consciousness, to something formed and manifested in the outer realm if we take action on that. So here we're saying it the same way with a little more words. So principle, divine idea, or power, in this case, power is referring to the 12 powers. We limit these through thought, feeling, and word to an expression in our mind and body, and then by taking action, if we so choose. So if you are having a little allergy to this idea of limitation or limit, which I find many of our Unity friends do, we can say, well, we're defining that idea. We're focusing that idea. We're forming that divine idea. We're refining that divine idea to something very specific. So again, we're going from the infinite to the finite. And so here's another way of looking how it works. So desire and choice drive limitation, drive the limitation of the various divine ideas or regular ideas we have in consciousness. And desire is the power of love, and choice is the power of will. So we're using the powers in very specific ways to drive the process of limitation. So here's looking at it in another way. So we often talk the infinite field of potential. And I like to say it is the potential for everything, while in this moment it's no thing. It's the potential and possibility for everything, while in this moment it is no thing. And how do we go to no thing, from no thing to thing? Well, in consciousness. We think in terms of all ideas, then we might have an idea of table, and because there are multiple forms and sizes and shapes of table, we get a specific idea for a table, and then we can either build or find an actual table that meets whatever idea, specific idea we have in consciousness. So you can see we've gone from infinite to something finite and specific in mind, a little m mind, in consciousness, and then we can build the actual table or go shopping, maybe on Amazon, to find a table, or hopefully a local furniture store. So again, we're moving from the unformed to the formed, from the infinite to the finite. And how do we do it? Through thought, feeling, and word, using the law of expression, which is all about moving from the unformed to the formed. So here's a way to remind you of that again. We have the infinite, unlimited potential. We have thought, feeling, and word, which gives shape to that, makes it specific. And then in consciousness, we have something finite and limited, like we have a specific idea of the dining room table we have. So here we are again, looking at it another way. We have this infinite field of potential. We have mind idea. We can say we have the Christ idea, and that Christ idea is made up of the 12 powers. And then we can ask you, so what are you choosing and desiring to be right now? Because the way we can get that consciously is to know we start with the unformed, unlimited, infinite potential, and then through limitation, we produce something formed, first in consciousness, then in the outer realm. So how are you showing up this moment? You are doing that through the power of your mind, and you're doing that through limiting the infinite potential. So once again, let's claim, I am wondrously infinite in finite ways. Or we can say, I am wondrously infinite in specific ways, because you are a specific human. I am a specific human. The whole universe, to remind you, the whole universe is specific and operates specifically. So friends, that's the joy of limitation. And limitation, this process can become joyful once we know how to do it consciously. And if we don't limit, we can't manifest anything. So the truth is, since we are manifesting ourselves, we are manifesting our outer lives, we are manifesting things and actions, we can do it joyously when we're doing it more consciously, using our little m mind, our human mind consciously, using our consciousness consciously. So holding that thought, let us invest time in meditation. So whatever you do to get comfortable to do that, you can close your eyes if you choose so. You don't have to. But I invite you in some way to be comfortable. I choose to close my eyes. And I choose to rotate my awareness from the outer realm to the inner realm. The inner realm of my consciousness. I invite you to do the same thing. As we once again remember, there is only one power and one presence, everywhere totally present, at every point in space, all at the same time. Because the totality of the divine can fit on something smaller than the head of a pin. And yet, it is everywhere present, and everywhere it is power. Notice I did not say powerful, because the divine is the very principle of power. And as humans, we turn that into powerful. We can say God is life, the very principle of life. And we, as human beings, turn that principle into living. We can say the divine is the very principle of love. And we humans turn that into loving. So as you reflect about that, just think how powerful you are. You determine what love is for you. You determine what life is for you. And the way we get both of those is by limiting the unlimited to something very specific. So now, as you breathe in and breathe out, I invite you to rest a while in the silence. And now, in your inner voice, repeat after me. I am fully divine. I am fully human. I am fully divine. I am fully human. I am fully divine and fully human. And let us remember as we go forward that in our divinity, we are identical. Your divinity is not different from my divinity. In our humanity, we are wondrously distinct. You are not me, and I am not you. And we celebrate that. Because as I celebrate your distinct and specific self, I can at the same time know that you have the exact same divine in you as I have in mine and me. And know that you are powerful beyond measure. And so it is. Amen.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart.
We are profoundly blessed to have Reverend Dr. Paul Hasselbeck with us today. Please join me in thanking him for being here today and sharing his message. Many of you already contribute regularly to our community, and we are so grateful for your continued support of our mission. If you would like to contribute right now, you can leave your tithe or love offering in the basket coming around, or click to contribute online. If you would like to be a sustaining member, we would love for you to consider setting up recurrent giving to support our community. In whatever way you choose to share your gifts, we are so grateful as we bless our love offerings. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
Love, shine a light in every corner of my heart. Let the love light carry, let the love light carry. Light up the magic in every little part. Let our love shine a light in every corner of our hearts. Love, shine a light in every corner of my dream. Let the love light carry, let the love light carry, like the mighty river flowing from the stream. Let our love shine a light in every corner of our dreams. And we're all gonna shine a light together. Oh, shine a light to light the way. Brothers and sisters in every little part. Let our love shine a light in every corner of our hearts. Love, shine a light in every corner of the world. Let the love light carry, let the love light carry. Light up the magic for every boy and girl. Let our love shine a light in every corner of the world. And we're all gonna shine a light together. Oh, shine a light to light the way. Brothers and sisters in every little part. Let our love shine a light in every corner of our heart. And we're all gonna shine a light together. Oh, shine a light to light the way. Brothers and sisters in every little part. Let our love shine a light in every corner of our hearts. Shine a light in every corner of our hearts.
We have a few announcements before we close out today's service. Next Sunday, November 10th, is our second Sunday lunch bunch meetup at Luby's Fort Worth. Come to Luby's at 11 a.m. to get a bite to eat while spending time in fellowship before heading over here for our Sunday service at 1 p.m., during which Reverend Eliza will be joining us virtually. Save the dates for our next Stepping Stones weekend with Reverend Eliza here in person, November 15th through the 17th. This will be our last Stepping Stones weekend of 2024, and will continue moving us closer to submitting our ministry vacancy packet and finding our next settled minister. Together, let's say our affirmation of attraction. As we co-create our next era in ministry, we have already attracted the perfect spiritual leader. Our workshop will be on Saturday, November 16th from 1 to 5 p.m. here in the social hall. The topic this month is mission, vision, and core values. We'll be taking a look at what is currently in use for these statements that are foundational to our ministry, and through a process of revelation, we'll refine them or co-create new ones for our future. Use the link or QR code to get registered to attend the workshop. You can also sign up to help create an awesome workshop experience as a volunteer. Then on Sunday, November 17th, Reverend Eliza will join us in person for our Sunday service. And after service, we'll recap and wrap up our Stepping Stones weekend with our Community Connections gathering. We are so excited to continue our transitional journey with you. Now, Stella Fair, our voting ambassador, has some information to share about Election Day this Tuesday, November 5th.
Well, y'all are making me feel like a candidate. If you didn't get an opportunity to vote during the early voting period last week, you have one more time, one more opportunity to do so. You can vote on Election Day, which is this Tuesday, November the 5th. The polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and you can vote at any polling location in the county that you live in. Now, we know that you realize how critical this election is, and we urge you to let your voice be heard by exercising your right to vote. As Michelle Obama says, do something. Your opinion matters, and your vote is your voice. If you have any questions, or if you're not sure about where you can vote, please see me after the service, and I'll be glad to assist you. Oh, and don't let me forget this. Be sure before Election Day that you check your voter registration status to make sure that your information is up to date and that you're still an active voter. Thank you.
Thank you, Stella. It's been such a gift having you with us today. Please join us for fellowship after service. We have a prayer chaplain with us today, Judy Kingman. Judy, could you wave? We'll be standing up here for prayers. We look forward to seeing you next week at our lunch bunch and Sunday service. Until then, stay safe, be well, go vote, and have a wonderful week, and shine your light out there. Now please rise to sing our peace song, followed by the prayer for protection.
That
light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and I am.